Hey there, how about a really quick Week 10 NFL algorithm preview? Let's do it. Let's make it fast. There's so much to do. So let's just talk about NFL. The Thursday night game was one of the closest games that the algorithm had predicted by win score. I am sorting this descending by win score. That means team stats throughout the entire year. That's what we're looking at when we compare win score. It's different from the projected score of the game. So, and you can see things actually changed here. Things are a mess. But let's talk about it. So we won't worry about Thursday's game, and we won't worry about Monday's game, which is the Eagles in Washington. How about that? So that look at how close it says that game actually could be, even though it's not agreeing with that when it's looking at the win score percentage. But I don't know. Our point projections are kind of funky. I'm a bit concerned, but let's go over this anyway. So Sunday's games, sorting descending by win score. This is kind of what the odds makers use when they're doing their lines, which is why you see lines that are bad pretty much going straight down. So this is what we what the look is and what kind of the standard public consensus about is about the comparison between these two teams here is represented in this number in this line. We have projected scores that are supposed to be different. So rather than looking at this in this order, which it would say just take these teams down the line, basically all the way over 20% margin. If you want to do a big parlay around robin, it's all these teams right here, but they don't pay very well. So we also look at this in terms of projected score as well. Descending by projected margin of victory right here. And we get a different order. We get things like the Niners over the Chargers, where they think they really can beat them by a couple touchdowns, even though the margin is only 14%. So here it says there's a little value actually in the Niners at -1 at 94. They're the top pick of the day by point projection. Bills, of course, are up here. Cowboys are up here against the Packers, who look like they've given up on their season. The Bears over the Lions, two bad teams though, so watch out there. Tennessee over Denver. They are playing better. Denver just isn't seeming to put it together all that much this year. 36% margin for Tennessee. We finally got Tennessee's points up now. So this is a little bit better. So that's up there. Tampa Bay beats Seattle in this version, but they don't beat Seattle by win score. So this is a conflict game and it involves Brady. I'm going to stay away from that game. New Orleans, I just have to stay away from this team all the time because the algorithm's just not good. I'm sorry that's an excuse, but the algorithm's just terrible with this team. And who knows? Miami over Cleveland, 41% margin, 5-point victory, only -189. That's pretty good. Rams beating the Cardinals by 3. Yeah, probably. Cardinals lose games. Raiders, Indianapolis. I'm not touching this game. Two funky teams here in a line I don't like. Raiders, I mean, Indianapolis can win this game. Like, I don't get this at all. Like, I would take Indianapolis's underdog line. Let's talk about what my straight bet picks are of the day, because you want to make picks that have good lines. Are there any good underdogs? Let's sort this whole thing by underdogs, by money line descending. Doesn't say that any of these teams should win. Like the margin of victory might be negative in that thing, but let's just see, is there anything to bet? Well, of course, we're never taking Jacksonville. So no, we don't want to go against Buffalo. I think Josh Allen's playing, but not sure, but it's an interesting game. Buffalo's still a strong team. They come off that rough loss last week to the Jets. They're going to want to win. So I'm not taking Minnesota. Not taking the Chargers because the Niners looked really good here. So if anything, I'm taking the Niners. Not taking Houston because I don't take Houston against the Giants, even though it says they win. They have a terrible win score. Not doing that. Indianapolis, I'll take, even though they suck. The Raiders also suck, and the Raiders can lose games. So this +230, that's a straight bet for me. I know there's a 3-point margin of victory and a -45% win percentage, but the Raiders can lose games. So even though this is in Las Vegas, Indianapolis can win this game, even though they're terrible. But maybe that is a bad idea. Not taking the Packers, not taking the Browns because it'd say not taking Arizona, not taking Denver, not taking Detroit, not taking the Steelers. I would consider taking Seattle +120, but this is a horrible board. Oh my God. You basically have to take favorites. This is terrible. This is a terrible board. But I mean, where do the odds makers agree with us? By point projection, not by win score? Gosh, man. I mean, it does agree with these teams up here. These all have low, like this actually is pretty good. All the way down to the Rams, right? So, I mean, these lines, I've seen worse lines before, actually. The worst thing you have on there is -2. I mean, we got this Chiefs at -425. Jacksonville could give them a game. So it's actually saying Jacksonville plus the points, but we don't bet on Jacksonville still. I'm holding a grudge and I'm not betting on Jacksonville. So, so it says Houston wins by point projection over the Giants. So there's that, even though it doesn't agree at all by win score. So that's where there's some value. So I guess straight bets would be a straight bet on Houston because it's 245. It's on here. Yeah, I guess so. And then a big round robin with the Niners, the Bills, the Cowboys, the Bears over the Lions. I want to skip that one. I'd rather do this. I don't like Tampa Bay over Seattle. I don't like New Orleans. I would do Miami and the Rams. I would do these 6. And I consider taking the Colts because the Raiders are weird and will blow games. So, like, the line is awful. The Raiders suck. They're not good. Like, what do the standings say for the Raiders? Take a look at that. Raiders. Where are you guys? They're up to the top third. They are 2-6, everybody. They suck. Like Indianapolis sucks also. I mean, let's not lie. Indianapolis is 3-5-1, but you can see they're a little better. So to see the Raiders at -2, whatever that is here, where are the Raiders on the other side of this? At -275 makes me say Indianapolis a +230. Plus you get 6.5. It does say Indianapolis covers the spread, so you can take that. So there are actually some things to play that while the lines are not underdog lines, they're actually not that awful. So it never listen to me, always listen to the algorithm. But when you see all these favorites, like with the exception of Tampa Bay, because you see they have a negative win streak against Seattle. So I would watch out for this game. But these other ones, even the Bears, I mean, they are playing against the Lions. Don't know what to do with the Saints, but this is not awful. So that's kind of my advice for throwing stuff together. As for straight bet picks, I guess it's Houston and Indianapolis somehow. Because of the straight bet potential of winning those games. But that's basically the update. That's NFL. There are a bunch of other sports going on right now that I guess I'll be updating before I go to sleep. I am not going to be doing another video for preparing Sunday because I'm going to be on the road tomorrow. Responsibilities. So I won't do that because it's just I'm going to get up the Google sheet, but I will not have time to do a video. I don't think at all tomorrow. So this will be it for NFL. If you do one thing, it says take the Niners. They are the #1 pick of the day. They are supposed to easily cover against the Chargers. So that's your pick of the day. All right. Good luck, everyone. May all your picks be winning in week 10.